Hedgehog 2 is the sequel to 2020's Sonic the Hedgehog, a really successful movie and a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 once again sees the return of Sonic the Hedgehog, and this time he teams up with Tails and Knuckles to take down Robotnik once again, who is after the Master Emerald. What I liked about Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is that it's a movie that, despite a couple of scenes here and there where I'm like, you could just take that out of the movie, I'll get into that more in a minute. Unlike the first one, I feel like that this actually has a lot more going on. It keeps moving, it's at a brisk pace, the plot has consistent flow and movement to it, and I was never once, aside from a couple of scenes, left wanting to get out of this place. Idris Elba and Knuckles as a whole. Idris Elba is a great voice for Knuckles. He's got that deep voice that makes Knuckles menacing enough, while also, at the same time, very relatable and embracing as well. And the way that Knuckles was written, I really liked how Knuckles was written in this movie, and some of the jokes that he has. Knuckles was by far the funniest part of the movie. It's by far the best part of the movie. And adding in Tails added just a whole new dynamic. There's really this friendship bond between Tails and Sonic that I thought was really well done in the movie. I actually expected that friendship to go down a certain route, and it didn't end up going down that route. And Ben Schwartz is good as Sonic. Sonic, I really dug the characterization of Sonic in this movie because they toned Sonic back a little bit. With the jokes at the beginning, it's like, oh yeah, it's Sonic the Hedgehog from the first movie. But then as the adventure continues, you realize that this is a dire situation for Sonic to be in. It's a story about him learning about responsibility and, in a way, growing up. It's almost as if he's calculating in his brain exactly what the situation is calling for and trying to prove to people that he can grow up instead of just being this giant child that he is. And I thought that that was actually a really sweet, endearing characterization of Sonic in this movie. He wasn't just the funny guy. He was actually determined, capable of proving that he was something more. Jim Carrey as Robotnik, I wasn't a huge fan of Jim Carrey in the first one. This one, I think he doesn't let it loose as much. And I think that actually helped Robotnik. I actually bought into Robotnik's plan a lot more. I bought into why and how Robotnik would actually come back. And the actual story of the movie, I thought, was handled a lot better here than the first one. The truth of the matter is that if you don't like the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, you're not going to like this movie. If you like the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, you are going to like this movie, and you might like it more. I think I actually like this one more. I think that this one has a little bit more to offer in terms of entertainment value and actual story, characterization, and just the dynamic of some of the main characters that are taking part in this story that I wasn't expecting the movie to have. Whereas the first one was fun, but it still felt like it was a bit more throwaway than this one. This one was a 2-hour adventure that left me with a giant smile on my face for majority of the runtime. The first one did too, but not to the extent that this one did. I think you can have a little bit more fun with this movie, even in the heartfelt moments. But the thing between the two of these movies is that the jokes for me just don't really land. I think they're geared more towards little kids. I did laugh at some parts in this movie, but I wouldn't say probably as much as the first one. I think the first one, because Sonic was unhinged in that movie, was a bit funnier. This one wasn't as funny to me, even though the jokes were there. They did feel a bit forced. Let's talk about some negatives with the movie, because there's like this sequence towards the middle of the movie in Siberia, in this Siberian restaurant, where I'm like, why the hell are we here right now? This is the time where you go restock on snacks, go to the bathroom, take a phone call, or just, walk out of the movie theater for 2 hours and come back 2 hours later, because that scene felt like it was an eternity. Man, my eyes were closing in that scene. I was falling asleep. I was literally like, Jesus, this better pick up. That scene honestly contributes very little to the plot, so why is it even there? There was also a few moments where the facial movements on Knuckles' face didn't look like, I don't want to say that they weren't fully rendered, but they weren't matching up with the words that he was saying. It looked very Phantom Menace animatronic-y with the Trade Federation guys, with Newt Gunray. It kind of looked like that, but with CGI. And it was just something that took me out of the movie very briefly. And as I stated before, the jokes didn't really land for me. I find it to be as funny as the first one, despite finding a bit more entertainment value in this movie. So, as I said, truth of the matter is, if you like the first one, you'll like this one. If you didn't like it, you're not gonna like this one. I mean, if these Sonic the Hedgehog movies aren't for you, then they're not for you. For me, they're just really fun, entertaining family movies that you could just watch on a rainy day and call it a day. They're nothing more, nothing less. They're not terrible, they're not great, but they're fun with great entertainment value. I will say I really enjoyed Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with 3/4 worth of a bucket of popcorn. So what did you guys think of Sonic the Hedgehog 2? Drop me some feedback in the comment section below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.